On May 3, 2007, Praia da Luz shifted from serene resort to the center of a nightmare. 3-year-old Madeleine McCann disappeared from her family's holiday apartment while her parents dined just meters away. Kate McCann's desperate scream, "They've taken her!" echoed through the night, sending neighbors and holidaymakers into a frantic search. Police arrived, but the first hours were clouded by confusion, unchecked entry points, and lost evidence. What began as a missing child case quickly transformed into one of the most haunting mysteries of modern times, where every detail, every word spoken that night would be dissected for years to come. The so-called Tapa 7, friends dining with the McCanns, became crucial to the timeline. Their statements, however, wove a web of contradictions. Dame Tanner claimed she saw a man carrying a child near the apartment, a sighting that would later unravel. Times didn't match, memories clashed, and doubts grew. Was this a group protecting their friends, or simply struggling under the weight of trauma? The inconsistencies raised suspicion, and investigators wondered if the group of friends had unintentionally or deliberately built a fragile wall of silence. The truth of that night seemed to fracture within the very group meant to reveal it. 25 days after Madeline's disappearance, the McCanns rented a Renault Scenic. At first glance, it was an ordinary family car, but cadaver dogs soon alerted to the unmistakable scent of death inside. DNA testing revealed traces with an 88% match to Madeline. Could it be cross-contamination or something far darker? The discovery rattled the investigation, pushing suspicions toward the very parents who cried for help. Forensics could not deliver absolute proof, but the unsettling results lingered. A chilling question surfaced. Why would death be linked to a car the McCanns only began using weeks after their daughter vanished? In early police photographs, a distinctive blue sports bag sat among the McCanns' belongings. Later, it vanished from records without explanation. Investigators whispered about its potential use in concealing a body, while the McCanns denied ever owning such an item. The mystery of the missing bag deepened the sense of unease. Was it misplaced evidence, sloppy police work, or deliberate erasure? In a case already clouded by secrecy, the disappearance of a single object carried enormous weight. The phantom bag became a symbol, an unanswered question at the heart of a story where every missing detail only fueled suspicion. When investigators confronted the McCanns with forensic results, explanations poured out. Seafood, storage in the trunk, dirty diapers, even the scent of blood from lab cross-contamination. Every theory but the obvious. Yet the cadaver dog's consistent alerts haunted the investigation. Scientists urged caution, but whispers of deception grew louder. If the car had nothing to hide, why did the evidence keep circling back to it? The McCanns' firm denials clashed with traces science could not ignore. In that tension between forensic whispers and human explanations, the case slid deeper into shadow, where denial and suspicion collided and certainty dissolved. Between 6 and 8:30 p.m., Madeline's whereabouts are shrouded in uncertainty. Some claim she was seen alive. Others gave no clear account. These missing hours gnawed at investigators. What really happened before the tapas dinner? Conflicting stories hinted at something hidden, a truth buried in the cracks of memory or intent. In most missing child cases, the earliest timeline is crucial. Here, it became a fog of doubt. If Madeline's fate was sealed before the night began, the search for an abductor may have always been in vain. The unseen hours cast the darkest shadow of all. Detective Gonzalo Amaral believed the answers lay close to home. His fridge theory suggested Madeline's body was first hidden, then later moved in the Renault Scenic. But pressure mounted. Amaral was removed from the case, accused of incompetence. Silenced, he turned to the public, writing the truth of the lie. The book suggested a cover-up and ignited international uproar. Lawsuits followed, and Amaral became both villain and hero, depending on which side you believed. His dismissal left a wound in the investigation, a sense that the truth was not simply lost, but deliberately buried by those in power. As the case unfolded, media coverage split along national lines. Portuguese journalists echoed Amaral's suspicions, while British outlets fiercely defended the McCanns as victims of injustice. Tabloid headlines clashed, shaping two competing realities. For the public, truth became a matter of perspective. Were the McCanns grieving parents vilified abroad, or central figures shielded at home? The press became a battleground, and Madeline's story shifted from tragedy to media spectacle. Every article, every broadcast widened the gulf between fact and rumor. In the noise, the little girl at the heart of it all seemed to fade into the background. With media frenzy at its height, the McCanns enlisted Clarence Mitchell, a polished government spokesman, to manage their image. Calm, rehearsed statements replaced raw emotion. Blogs and posts questioning the role were swiftly challenged or deleted. To some, this professionalism reflected strength. To others, it looked like manipulation. Could parents so composed still be consumed by grief? The mask of control both reassured and unsettled. It shielded the McCanns from further scrutiny while leaving critics convinced something was amiss. In silence and structure, the chaos was contained, but not the suspicions that lurked beneath the surface. Throughout the ordeal, the McCanns' friends, known as the Tapa's Seven, remained steadfastly loyal. But their accounts raised eyebrows. Timelines shifted, memories altered, and key details clashed. Some investigators wondered if the group had made a pact of silence, whether intentional or born of panic. Why did they wait until the McCanns were named suspects to finally speak more openly? Each testimony added fog, not clarity. Behind the veil of friendship, truth was either lost or locked away. The Tapas Seven became not just witnesses, but characters in the mystery, bound together by an unspoken and unbreakable loyalty. The case against the McCanns was never proven. The bag, the fridge, the Verneau C-neck, all threads that seemed to weave a chilling tapestry, but never tied into certainty. Forensic science whispered but never shouted. Witnesses contradicted themselves. Timelines crumbled and leads dissolved into nothing. Yet, doubt never disappeared. For some, the unanswered questions were proof of guilt. For others, evidence of a botched investigation. The truth dangled, suspended between speculation and silence. These threads of doubt became the legacy of the case, a reminder that sometimes mystery itself is stronger than the facts we cannot prove. Jerry McCann stood as both grieving father and calculated strategist. His calm demeanor, composed statements, and sharp defiance divided public opinion. Was he simply strong for his family or hiding a deeper truth? The puzzle of the missing bag, the fridge theory, and the car's forensic whispers followed him like shadows. To this day, questions lingered not just about what happened to Madeline, but about the man who shaped the narrative. A father desperate for justice, or an enigma at the heart of it all. In the end, Jerry McCann remains as mysterious as the case itself.